What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to AC Auto Carts. Hey, I've been working on our 2015 EZGO RXV here, getting ready to button it up and give it back to the owner, Dave. Been struggling a little bit with the street legal signal kit that I finally got for it. Started out with finding out that this LED light was burnt out, so we had to do some soldering. Got the kit in, was struggling with some of the brake light preparedness here with the little pad. So we'll talk through a little bit of that. But I think I'm on the final stages, so we'll talk through it. Should be successful. Let's get started. So sadly, here I am again with this thing all torn apart. I had the batteries out of it earlier, just this one really, to double check for what exactly the wiring harness that was in this thing. Just because I did get a signal kit from one of the premier websites that I've used before. It came immediately, so I didn't have to wait, but it wasn't enough. There wasn't any extra wiring and so forth, so it wasn't the right one. So we'd be sending that one back. It was just the little harness here. Let me show you that. All right, so this is what I'm going to be returning. This is, I'm pretty sure it's ROX headlights that are in this thing. So touch base with one of the websites. They were awesome. He did send me, hey, I think this is what you need. This 9-pin connector. I think I've got, let's see, we've got, how many is that? 9 in use here. I plugged it in. It did run the signals, but then there was no way for me to hook up the headlights. So all I would have was signals and no place for a horn. And I didn't really locate the brake pedal pad scenario. So this is the normal pad that'll just bolt onto here, right? But this is the pad that we're going to use. It just wraps right over that. I'm going to be getting that on. Why do I have this pad out here? Because I was having a hard time getting this one going. So I think something was bad in one of the connections. I redid the connections and now all of a sudden it's working. This existing harness was in there. I do love this stock. I prefer this one because the headlight control, the horn, and the directionals are all right here rather than having a separate headlight button down below. I haven't buttoned any of this up yet. I really just connected it to the existing bucket harness that was here. There was already provisions for a horn, which is stuffed in there. This is the back side of these headlights. So this white wire had completely come off. So when I originally hooked it up, I didn't have any signals here. And I was kind of bummed out about that, but then I started rooting around looking for it. And like I say, that white wire was out of it. So we went ahead and soldered some of that together last night, and now I had the signal. I got to go ahead and attach the horn that's just kind of laying here. I just kind of put it all together, prelim, make sure I could get everything working, and now I'm going to go ahead and button everything up. This is the old headlight switch that was in the dashboard. I'm not gonna be using any of this. So that's now garbage. This is the universal kit. That is the part number. It is just 12 volt or 48. Again, I was having a little bit of a hard time with it at first, but I think the hard time was actually with this connection in the pedal pad. I had to cut this off, right? And my connection potentially was not good, and that was driving me nuts the last half hour or so. I couldn't get it to work, but I think I've got that straightened out now. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this stuff ready for return because it is about $170 worth of stuff. And this kit didn't come with a column cover and a horn and some other stuff, but this one here is what I needed, and now I finally have it working. I'm really not sure why it wanted to fight me so hard, but it certainly did. Got these connections made, so kind of hardwired them instead of use the provided guys look like this, butt connectors, right? So I just hardwired those guys in. I don't need this to be this long. I'm going to punch this behind the pedal. We'll kind of route it around and make my connections. This is from the original harness here that was in it already. It did have brake harness on it. So what I could do, I could run this in here. I think what I'm going to do is there's no clean spot. I don't want to have a hump in the mat. So I think this was already like this. I'm going to scoot that under the body and we'll connect it inside. Okay, I popped this little cover off. I probably could have drilled that straighter, but put a zip tie in there. This is secured. Inside. Now that's inside. So brakes are done. Now I just got to button up the rest of this. I'm going to go ahead and put the floor back in, the rockers back on. We'll get that all done, and then I'm going to move on up there. That's it on that. All right. Headlight. Horn is back in. Or horn is in, rather. Let's just button up the old dash here. So this, I don't have this on completely, but there you go. It's really not that hard. There's some two-sided tape. Put the tape here, or foam rather, two-sided foam. Put some foam here, here, and I'm just going to cinch that down when I get the correct position. Probably sit in the seat, get the correct position, cinch that action down. And then we've got that column cover to put on, and we'll see where that spits out, and then we'll start test fitting this. So the other headlight kit, before I put this extension on, this was the headlight switch, right? There's a little switch there. So now that's the hazards. So I like that a lot better, actually. What up, buddy? Oh, you know, just wanting to jump off a bridge, that's all. Huh? Just wanting to jump off a bridge here.
No. We don't do that. Ooh.
Let me get this far and bust it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay, I see him. There we go. Yeah. And, oh, look at, watch. Oh, so, hey. Oh, that's so much easier.
That's what I needed. You needed me.
I guess so. What's up, buddy?
What's up? Where did you get this?
All right, I was just able to snake all of this through. I took the switch controller off, and I was able to just kind of push this up and get that harness through there. I took the little cover out back for a second. I shaved about 3/4 of an inch off of it. And they give you a little bit more than maybe you need, depending on where you put the switch here. Just stuff this guy on. I'm tired. Well, I wrestled with this for a few minutes, and I ended up putting a tie on it because this just wants to fly off. I moved this over so it's coming out that bottom there. Again, we're just kind of poked underneath there, and it's going up and behind. Now all I gotta do is attach this cup holder. I don't love this, but maybe after that sits on there for a little while, it'll stay on there. I didn't want to drill any holes in the column or anything, because what am I gonna do, put a bolt in there and then it'll affect the steering shaft, so can't do that. one last thing, the little hazard button. So obviously goes right here because that's where the previous hole was, so we didn't have to drill another one and it fit right in. So for these knobs, they are a screw-on. Don't try and just pull them off. They're a screw-on. All right, just a couple last little bolts and clips for the bottom of this, and that's it. Dunzo. I don't know what Dunzo means. For some reason I just used it. So that brings our time with the RXV to a close. We've got our voltage reducer, we've got our fuse panel, we've got our Chemimoto 12-piece underglow and canopy lights in it, we've got a Chemimoto floor mat on it, and now today we wrapped it all up with a street legal light kit. Got that signal light in it with the brake pedal pad, and that wasn't really too complicated, just fought me a tiny little bit, but feel confident that you guys would be able to do that too. So again, we're trying to build our channel for the DIYer at home, so like and subscribe if you're finding these videos helpful to you, and I will catch you on the next one.